The granddaughter of former President John F. Kennedy Jr. revealed a terminal cancer diagnosis today, saying she has less than a year to live.
Tatiana Schlossberg, the daughter of Caroline Kennedy and writer-designer Edwin Schlossberg, is now facing one of the hardest challenges of her life. On November 22nd, she revealed in an essay published in The New Yorker that she has been diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia, AML, a serious and fast-moving cancer that affects the blood and bone marrow.
Acute myeloid leukemia is the type of blood cancer. It originates from the bone marrow. It stems from immature white blood cells that start to just mutate and grow out of control and kind of crowd the healthy blood cells within the body.
Tatiana wrote that everything changed just hours after giving birth to her second child in May 2024. What should have been a joyful and peaceful moment quickly became frightening. Doctors noticed that her white blood cell count was extremely high, far beyond what is normally seen after childbirth. At first, they tried to reassure her. They explained that some changes in blood levels can happen during pregnancy or delivery, but they also warned her that there was another possibility they had to consider: leukemia. A few hours later, the fear became reality when her medical team confirmed that she had AML. Acute myeloid leukemia develops rapidly, which meant Tatiana had to begin treatment almost immediately. Instead of going home with her newborn daughter, she spent the next several weeks at Columbia Presbyterian Hospital. She underwent intense chemotherapy and preparations for a bone marrow transplant, treatments that require long stays, isolation, and constant monitoring. Later, she was transferred to a specialized cancer center for the transplant itself, hoping it would give her the best chance at recovery. For a short time, things looked more hopeful, but Tatiana suffered a relapse, something that can happen with AML even after aggressive treatment. Since then, she has participated in multiple clinical trials, each offering a different experimental approach. During her most recent trial, her doctor told her something no one ever wants to hear: that he might be able to keep her alive for a year, maybe a little more. She described how devastating it was to hear those words at 35 years old, especially as a mother of two very young children. Yet even in sharing this painful journey, Tatiana chose to focus on the people who have carried her through it. Her husband, George Moran, has been her constant companion and advocate, taking every phone call from doctors and insurance companies, staying overnight in uncomfortable hospital rooms, and being with her during painful procedures. She wrote that he has done everything he possibly could to protect her and give her strength. Tatiana also spoke movingly about her family. Her mother, Caroline Kennedy, a former U.S. ambassador and the daughter of President John F. Kennedy, has been by her side almost every day. Her father, Edwin, and her siblings, Jack and Rose, have stepped into parenting roles for her children, helping to care for the baby and supporting her older child through the confusion of having a sick parent. They sit with her during treatments, hold her hand when she is afraid, and try to hide their own worry so she does not feel more pain. Beyond her immediate family, Tatiana has also been supported by people who have been part of her life for years: friends from college, colleagues from her work as a journalist and environmental writer, and members of the large and close-knit Kennedy family who understand what it means to endure hardship in the public eye. They have helped care for her children, brought meals, offered emotional support, and created a circle of love around her during a time when she needed it most. Tatiana has always been known for her intelligence, her writing, and her dedication to environmental issues. She has worked as a reporter, written for major publications, and published a book about climate change. Now, she faces a completely different kind of battle, one that demands strength, patience, and hope. Despite everything, she continues to fight, supported by a family that is determined to give her every possible chance at healing. Her story is heartbreaking, but it is also filled with love, courage, and the power of family standing together in the darkest of times.